fish traps are actually quite unique. We have two fish traps here in Newport, one at the Millrace trap here, which was built in kind of 1955, and a second trap which came into operation in 1970. These traps allow us to count and monitor all fish movements between the freshwater environment and the marine environment. The National Salmon MicroTagging program started back in the 80s, and it helps us get more of an insight into what's happening, particularly out at sea, which is quite a difficult area to survey. We rear fish here on site, and those fish we put a small little microtag in just before they're ready to go out to sea. That little microtag, if it's picked up at sea, allows us to get more information on the actual route that these fish take. We can work out marine exploitation, and then when they come back into coastal waters, it gives us an exploitation in relation to coastal areas and also recreational fisheries inland. But the data that we collect here at Newport is actually quite unique from the point of view that there are very few places in the world that have the capability of monitoring all fish moving in and out of the system. So therefore, the data that we collect filters into international forums such as NASCO and ICES, basically to gain more information on salmon stocks, sea trout stocks and eels, and also basically to manage these going forward. It's very difficult to manage stocks that can spend part of their time in freshwater and part of their time out of the marine. Here at Newport we take advantage of the fact that they're migratory, so at some point they will actually come back through the trapping facility here. That gives us an opportunity to get a full count and everything. It also gives an opportunity to gather biological information, and linked with our environmental data that we collect here, it can help us to produce more robust models, particularly when we line it up with our environmental data to give us some indication of potentially what will happen in the future in relation to climate change. It's quite unique here from the point of view that we actually will get to see every single fish that migrates in and out between the marine and the freshwater environment. We also get to take biological samples from these fish, so we can actually work back on the historical data that we already have. The Marine Institute's strategy moving forward is to try and gain more information from the data that we're actually collecting here. With that, we're in collaboration with several third-level education systems, and with that we're also trying to gain more understanding of individual fish. Up to recently we were looking at kind of populations, but now with advances in genetics we're actually able to get down to looking at individuals within a population. In relation to sea trout, it's one of the few places where you can actually examine or try and determine whether it's a genetic component or an environmental component that makes a trout actually migrate to sea.